If you like the sound of having a central location where you can store things like business resources, relevant and recently frequently used URLs and website links, things like that, assets that you might have within the company and where they live, tags that you may be using in some of your email marketing and some of your automation, passwords to software and different tools that you guys might use. If you like the sound of having all this information in one place so that you can share it with your team and they're not constantly ringing you and asking you for this information, that's what this video here is about, guys. And that's what this resource is that I've created for you. Enjoy. Hey guys, Matt here from Tradie Web Guys and the SiteShed podcast. You've probably stumbled across this resource as part of our Facebook community, or perhaps you've seen it somewhere on one of our websites or somebody's referred you. Either way, welcome and enjoy. We've put this together for, we're always looking for new, great resources that we can share with our community. This one was staring me straight in the face, and I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. However, today I'm going to share with you what we call our asset register. And I pretty much preach this as being the Bible of our business. Anyone that comes into our team and into our organization gets access to this, and they're trained on how to use it, and they're trained on where to find things and how to add things to it. And the reason being is for a number of reasons, which we'll get into in a little bit, but primarily it's about creating a process and a system around storing documents, links, passwords, URLs, things like that, so that people aren't always coming to you asking for the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So this has been a really powerful tool for us, and it works really well. We actually roll this out for all of our clients and all of our customers over at Tradie Web Guys, and now we're opening this up to our community. And then if you're seeing this and you're not in our community, then that's fine. You've seen it, you've got hold of it somehow, and hopefully you can make the most of it. So this is what I'm going to show you here is created in Google Sheets. And the reason that we use Google Sheets is because Google Documents, so Google Sheets, first of all, is one of the applications that comes as part of Google Workspace, which used to be called G Suite. Essentially, the reason we use this is because it's collaborative. So you're probably familiar with spreadsheet programs such as Excel, which are fantastic. Google's version of Excel is Google Sheets, and it enables us to share it with the team, and everyone can make changes and they can update certain things on the one document. So in the past with programs like Excel, you kind of in a situation where if you have a copy on your computer and you want somebody else to see that document, you would have to send that to them, and then what happens is you've essentially got two versions of the same document. So they go and update theirs, you're updating yours, and you've got two documents that are running next to each other, which have different information on it. Google Sheets is collaborative, meaning that it's one document, one link, and you can share it with whoever, and you can give permissions on who can update it or who can view it, or who can add to it. And of course, it's got a full revision history that comes with it as well, so you can restore things if you need to. If you don't have a Google account, you can head across to tradiewebguys.com.au, head to the contact page, fill in the form there, and just let us know that you're after a Google account. Google Sheets is one of many applications that come as part of Google Workspace. The others being, or some of the others, I should say, being Mail, Google Mail, which you might be familiar with Gmail, but this is Gmail for Business. It's an amazing mail platform which basically takes all of your mail off any specific server and puts it into Google's cloud. So it's extremely safe. We've never once had an issue with it, touch wood. You also get Google Docs, and this is a Google Doc. You get Google Drive, and Google Drive is basically file storage, and then you get Google Docs, which is the equivalent to Microsoft Word, but it's Google's version, again, collaborative. And then this, of course, is Google Sheets. There's a whole bunch of other things. There's a note-taking program. There's There's a slide presentation program. Again, the beauty of it all is it's all collaborative. So the reason that we love using Google is because when we run remote teams, we can give people access to the same document wherever they are in the world, and we can control it. I can control it all from my mobile phone or whatever device I'm connected to the internet on. Okay. So again, head across to tradiewebguys.com.au, head to the contact page, fill in the form, let us know. We are resellers of Google Workspace, so we can set you up with an account, and we can support you with that. And it's a fantastic business tool. You won't regret it. In fact, it's one of two business tools that I say every single business, especially trade business, should have. Google Workspace being one, and another one is cloud bookkeeping software, which we have nothing to do with and no affiliation with, but we recommend Xero. Okay, now let me, I suppose, preface this conversation by saying the reason that this document, or how this document started for us, was because I run a business podcast, and we've done, at the time of recording this, up to about 300 odd episodes. It's one of the biggest trade business podcasts in the world. We needed a place where we could store the data and store not so much the data, but store the meta for those podcasts. So things like the name, the guest, the series title, the link to the podcast or the website that it lives on. Was it a video? Was there a YouTube link? All that kind of stuff. So as we had our editors that were offshore, and we have all these different people and these different hands in the equation there, we needed to have a single place where everyone can access it. So that's kind of where it started, and then it grew from there. So it started off as our podcast tracking sheet, and it very quickly morphed into what I'm going to show you in a second, which has now become our asset register. And as I said, we give our clients we create one of these documents for our clients because it's an easy way for us to save basic information for them and share it with them. Some of them run with it, some of them don't. And we're going to try and work with them a little bit more to make sure they're utilizing this tool, because it is quite powerful, as you'll see. And don't get jaded by the simplicity of this. This is something that you could easily go and create yourself, for sure. There's no secret hidden codes. There's no macro, fancy integrations with anything. It's a really simple spreadsheet broken into a bunch of simple pages, and it just works. It's fantastic. Okay. So we really do. This really is like the Bible of our business, and everything I'm going to show you, everything of any relevance really lives in there as a central depository, central place where people can go to get things quickly. Okay. So let me jump in and show you a couple of versions. First of all, let's bring myself up here. So this is the one that you can get hold of. And when you come to this page, you're going to see, first of all, the introduction page. Again, there's nothing snazzy about this. We haven't over-designed it, and you don't need to over-design it. Don't think you need a graphic designer to jazz this up. It's only you and your company that's going to see this. Don't waste too much time on making it look real pretty, okay? Up here, I've got a few instructions, well, a bit of an intro as to what this is. When you get hold of this, head across. Once you've read it and you understand this, you can delete this entire row. Just go over here, right-click, go down to delete row and delete it, okay? Doesn't need to be there. And then go through here, update your company details. This is kind of the company registry or whatever. And this little video will live right here. You can actually embed a video into a Google Doc, but it'll be a link to a YouTube video. So you are more than welcome to leave that in there. I don't care if you leave it in there. It's fine. I'm happy for you to do so. If you want to go and re-record your own, you're also welcome to do so. Go right ahead. You just need to change the artwork, change the link and whatever. It's super easy to do, okay? But I'm more than happy if you don't want to waste time. I'm more than happy for you to leave that in there. Makes absolutely zero difference to me, okay? So on the so the first page you're going to see here is the common links page. Now, these are things, and I've left some examples in there just so you can see. Again, when you come in here, you can just go straight through and delete these, but it's just to give you an idea of what they are and how they work. Now, some of these things may not mean anything to you. Again, you can customize all these. There's no special formulas or restrictions or anything. You can delete this. This is just a short code that we use for some of our links for some retargeting. You can delete anything you don't need up here, but basically what it does is it's just a resource which enables you to say if you have well, in this instance here, right? So this link I refer to all the time. So it saves me from going to the website and finding it. I just save it right here. And if I ever need it, I just bring it up and go bang, send to whoever needs to see it, and it's there. If the team ever needs it, they can just log straight in here and they can find it straight away, okay? Now, this is very much at its infancy. I'm going to run through this really quickly, and then I'm going to show you how yours could potentially look. And it will grow. You need to treat this as an organism. I'm adding to this, and the team is adding to this daily. It's always being built and developed. So it should never, in a year's time, yours should look completely different to what this is. This is purely just a blank template for you guys to take and make your own. Again, customize these as you need to. Delete anything you don't want in here. That's fine. Okay. Over here, we've got logins. So this, if you're a client of ours, there's certain things that we need from you, which we get from here, or for certain programs anyway. Again, if there's something here you don't necessarily need, you can remove it. However, this is where we like to keep information about about the business. We like if we need Google logins for them, we put them in here. Google Analytics stuff, so on and so forth. There's some information here on how to share certain things with us, which is only relevant to you if you are a client of ours. If you're not a client of ours, don't worry about it. Just go through and delete it. No problem. A whole bunch of things here where you can add some passwords to this document just to keep everything in a central place. So this is relevant for, what are our website logins? What are our domain logins? What are our email logins? Like all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you can keep it all here. You can add to these as you see fit. Again, like just keep adding to them or delete. It's entirely up to you. Okay. You're probably thinking, well, some of you may be thinking anyway, that doesn't look like a very safe place to keep passwords. And you'd be right. It's probably not the safest place to keep passwords. It's a starting point. And if you don't have an advanced password managing system like LastPass or 1Password or whatever, then this is a good place just to keep some of the basic things. I wouldn't go keeping the logins to your bank accounts in here. So depending, of course, it is permission based. So typically speaking, only people that you share this document with should be able to see it. And I'll get to that in a little bit. But fundamentally, it's not as safe as having like a password manager like LastPass or something like that. Okay. So use it if you want. We don't use it for this in our business because we use LastPass. However, again, it's a starting point. So the asset register here, this is a place where you can keep a depository of some of the marketing resources that you might use within your company. I've left an example of ours there, and I'll jump in and show you ours in a little bit. There's a lot more of them in there, but you can keep things like you can keep a central record of things like an ebook, or maybe it's a video series, or perhaps it's a infographic, or it could be a number of things. It could be imagery and artwork and whatever. So just a place where you can store that. There's a little reference there where you can let people know what they are and where you created them. So if anyone goes, oh, where was this designed? Oh, it was Canva. Okay, let's go in and try and find it in Canva if they need to make any changes to it. Okay, and the link to the actual document. So if it's living on your website, then you can share that with people and they can go and find it. So you can add as many as you like in there. We've broken ours into different companies because we use this for both Tradie Web Guys and the site shed, and so we have different assets in there, and we update these. Well, we update them often, but probably not as often as we should. So yeah, tools and apps, again, this is really useful. So this is where you can store information about programs that you use. So somebody comes along to you and they say, hey, what tool do we use for graphic design? They can jump into the tools and apps in use page. They can see, oh, we currently use Canva. Logins are in LastPass. Great. Okay. So then they can go get to it. And you can just add whatever you want in here. Again, you can change these. I've just put a bunch of like brackets, I suppose, subheadings in here, but by all means, change them if you need to. Now, this next section dives into more marketing related things, maybe relevant for some of you and maybe less relevant for the others. If you guys like the sound of this, I encourage you to head across to tradiewebguys.com.au/automation and check out the video on the page there, because the all these next 3 pages basically relate to creating systems and processes around the way that you collate and segment customer records and customer information and data. Okay, so that might sound really nerdy for you at the moment, but trust me, it's extremely valuable, and I'll show you why. There's basically a register here which explains how the different types of tags work and what they are. I should say at this point as well, I didn't create this. I got this from someone a very long time ago. I think it might have been a guy called Barry Moore. If it was Barry, credit to you. If it wasn't, I can't remember, and I apologize. But essentially, we've sort of developed it a bit further from here. But what it does, that fundamentally, the point of this is when we're starting to create when we're trying to build out our database and we're trying to segment our list, this serves as a central location where we can see things like tags that are related to customer records. We can track automations and all that kind of thing. And I'll show you what ours looks like in a little bit, so it'll make a little bit more sense. But if we jump across here, again, I've broken this into some categories for you with some examples. Again, these are examples. So some of these you can use. For example, here, you can use these. You can copy and paste these into your email marketing software and use them as your tags if you want. But basically, this is a system around tagging, okay? So without going too deep into it, it's a system around tagging, and it's a way that you can approach tagging with some sort of methodical methodical approach, so that you're not just ad hoc adding tags in there, which typically get lost in the myriad of tagging when you enter into the email marketing world and into CRMs and things like that. So again, if this is going over your head, I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. If it's going over your head, then chances are you're not there yet, but I can almost guarantee that at some point you will be there if you're running a small business. So here are some examples and some groups and some different tags that associate with them. Again, you can remove these as you need. I've left a whole bunch of examples in there so you see what they are. And you can also just navigate over these little ones with the little note in the corner, so you can see what does this mean, webinar, before, so on and so forth, different topics. So you can customize these to suit yourself. The one that I use the most is this category here, which is lead. So, if we have a different resource that goes out, we'll have a different lead tag applied to it. So it might be lead asset register, for example, right? So there'll be a tag that's associated with this resource, which when somebody goes and downloads this resource or gets hold of it, this tag will be applied to their contact record within our CRM, okay? So I use that a lot. Again, you might want to use these for moving people through your deal stages, but without getting too technical, it's a really, really powerful tool here. And there's going to be a lot more training on this, especially if you are a client of ours. There'll be a lot more training on this and how to use it properly. So again, if you want any more information on that piece of software specifically and what that program looks like, head across to tradiewebguys.com.au/automation and go watch the video there, okay? Actually, you know what? I might even embed that video back over on this page just so you guys can actually see it. Well, you know what? I can do it right now and I can show you how it works because I have that living right. That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Let's jump back in here. Paste. Yeah. Now the video lives there. Okay. So we've been through that. We've been through the tags in use. Automations is where you can you can make a list of the different automations that you're using for email marketing. The reason you might want to do that is to see what's active and what isn't active. Again, I'll show you how that looks for us. So that's basically bare bones. Now, if you want to add pages to this, if you want to remove pages from this, you can certainly do that. You just come down here to the bottom, you click on this add sheet, and you can see right across here, it's added you a new sheet. You can name it by double clicking on it, and then that's basically done. So it's really easy to do that. I'm just going to get rid of that because we don't actually need it. But yeah, you get the idea. It's pretty easy to add things to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jump back into ours and give you an overview of how ours look. Now, as I said, it started as a way for us to track podcasts. And as you can see here, we've got hundreds and hundreds of of podcasts that have been recorded over the years, and all of the information and all the data and all the meta basically lives within this document for that episode. Pixel Me links, any Google Drive folders, publishing dates, so on and so forth, guests, titles of series, so on and so forth. I also read a lot of books, and I refer a lot of books, and I did at one point review a lot of books, and I'm trying to get back to that. But this is basically where I keep a list of books. So people say, hey, what's the link for so-and-so? We stick that in there. Now, this isn't in your template, but you can add it in there by all means if that's of interest to you. So again, just another way that you can customize this as you need to. Common links, this is a really popular one. Like, we use this a lot, and you can see this is where we basically store anything we just need to get to quickly. Okay, so to save people going shopping for it, or to save people pinging me on Google Chat and saying, hey, what's the link for this? I just go to the asset register. And now they don't even ask me, they just go to the asset register, and if it isn't there, then they come and nag me for it. But you can put anything in here. You can put categories down the side. We've got loads and loads and loads of them, as you can see. There's hundreds in here. And it's super, super powerful, and it makes life really easy for everybody. Okay. This is the asset register, which by the looks of things needs to be updated, but you can see we've got things broken down into different sort of documents, and there's different types here. We put a whole list of them. This one will also, this document is also in here. There's videos, there's different things, there's a whole bunch of different resources that live in there. And then there's the tagging taxonomy, which you've already seen. And then over here, if you see our tag register, you can see how deep and expanded it gets over time. So these are all the tags that we have living in our CRM, and there's quite a lot of them, as you can see. So it's really important, and the process that we teach within our company, and that we insist people take, is that they always create the tag in here first, and then they copy and paste it into our CRM, never the other way around. It always lives in here first, so there's a record of it, and there's a reference in the purpose of what it actually is, and then if it links to any automations, you can link to some of the automations. If that's not in here first, we find typically what happens is it just gets added into the CRM, has no reference point, no one knows what it is, and inevitably you end up creating 2, 3, 4, 5 tags that do exactly the same thing, and it just gets lost. Okay. Again, automations, we've got links to different types of automations that we have running, some of them on, some of them off. This should probably be updated again. But and then over here we've got our tools and different apps. So these are all different tools and apps and programs that we trialed at one point. I've got an additional column in here of things that are actually in use, and I'll put a little checkbox next to them so the guys can see, oh, okay, we're using Lingui for copywriting checking instead of Grammarly now. Okay, cool. So they can see all that kind of stuff, right? So that's how we do that. And then moving forward, these ones, we've got a few things here like client reporting, dashboards and stuff like that. I'm probably going to remove these, to be honest, because we don't really use a lot of them. But that's basically how we use it. So, as I said, it's quite a complex. Well, it's not complex. It's quite simple, but it's quite a large document, and it will grow and grow as your business develops. And the more you use it, the more addicted you get to it. So anyway, guys, enjoy this. If you have any questions, by all means, let me know. You can get hold of me probably through the Facebook group. If you're not in there, head across to Facebook and join the Site Shed. It's a private Facebook group. You'll have to answer a few questions to get in there. But once you're in, you'll have access to myself and our team, and you'll see many, many more resources just like this that are going to be available within there. So hopefully that helps, guys, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. If you want to share it with someone, that'd be fantastic. And I look forward to seeing you guys again at some point. And if you are a podcast listener, then I hope you enjoyed the podcast, which is the Site Shed. Ciao.